Amazon sellers, tired of seeing your competitors slash prices while your margins vanish? Well, if that's the case with you, I've got a solution for you. In today's video, we are going to build a pipeline that alerts you in Telegram whenever your competitors lowers the prices, so that you can strike back before you lose another sale. So here's the plan. We use Apify's Amazon scraper actor to grab live pricing from any product URL. Then we'll orchestrate the workflow in n8n. Trigger the scrape, wait for it to finish, parse out the numeric price, compare it to your threshold, and if it is lower, blast a Telegram alert right to your phone. So let's dive in and start building it. Okay, so first let's come to your n8n workflow, or maybe your dashboard, whatever they call it. So it's a blank canvas, and over here we need to add our first step. So let's just hit this button over here, add first step, and select this trigger manually, and let's bring it to the little side. Okay, so what this agent will do, it will just trigger this automation that we are going to build. It will trigger it manually. Later down the line, we'll add a node that will automate the execution of this workflow. All right. So with this added, let's head to this Amazon scraper, and you can search for this jungly free Amazon product scraper. Let me do it fresh for you. So open this Apify store and search for this particular actor called jungly/free Amazon product scraper. Okay, open this and you will see something over here. You will see this actor, and it costs you some $12 per 1,000 results. Okay, and so if you go to this input tab, and inside this there is a JSON, and I've already, what you need to do now is you need to open Amazon and find a product posted by your rival. Copy the product URL, come back to Apify, and over here where it says input JSON, you will see this JSON over here. Do not worry if you do not know what is JSON. Just don't worry about that. Select this entire URL, delete it, and then paste your own product or maybe your rival's product URL over here. Okay, and then hit start. So once you hit start, you will see it has started running. And if you look at this line over here, it says the actor is getting your data. So it is doing some competition, it is doing some computation, and it is scraping Amazon for this particular product. It has already passed around 20 seconds, and maybe a couple of more seconds, and it shall give you some data. Okay, so I fast forward this this part of us waiting. Okay, so now we have got the data, and you see it took around 48 seconds to get the data. And if we look at the JSON, you will see we have got this price over here. Okay, so this actor does the job. If we give it a product URL, it will give us some price for that thing. Let's come back to this n8n workflow, and let's add a new node, and that will be an HTTP request. Hit that, choose the post method over here, and in the URL there's a particular format that we are supposed to give here. I'll put that in the resource file, so you do not have to worry about it. Just go through that and you will know how to put the URL. For now, I'll just put the URL over here. So you see the URL comes out to be Apify, or it should have been HTTPS. Let me just quickly verify if it is actually HTTPS. Yes, it is. So the URL has to be jungly free Amazon product scraper. That was in fact the name of our of our actor. You see, jungly free Amazon product scraper. This is what we pasted over here. There was a slash after jungly on the apify.com. remove that and just add this character over here. Okay. This is called a tilde character. And then in the token, we need to put a Apify token. So we need to create that Apify token first. So for that, go to Apify, go to settings, and then come to API and integration. And I already have a API token over here. Let me copy this, or if you do not have one, you can just hit this button, create a new token, and that will give you a new token. Just copy that. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to come back to my n8n, and where it says token is equal to, I'm going to remove the remaining part and I'm going to paste this. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Next up is we need to send some headers also to it. Okay. This information again will be in the resource file. Do not worry. So then it says use JSON. I'll use, okay, let me bring it back to use fields below. So the header's name is going to be content type and its value is going to be application JSON. Okay. Then we need to send a body to it. The body is going to be a JSON type thing, and I'm going to put the entire JSON. Now, how do we get this? Go back to your Apify. Go back to the actor that you just tested. Right. This was the actor you tested. And if you go to input JSON, you will see the entire thing over here. So just copy the entire thing. Come back to your n8n and paste it. Okay. Cool. So now let's execute and test if it is working. Yes, it does work. Okay. So it has turned green. You see the green tick over here. Okay. So we are good so far. Let's call this. Let's not just call it HTTP request. Let's instead call it trigger Apify. Okay. Now let's go back and let's save this. So what we have done, we have added a button or node that is going to hit this, or send the HTTP post or request, which is going to scrape. Now, if you recall, when we tested this Amazon scraper, it took around 49 seconds, and after that it gave us the result. That means after we have sent this request, we actually need to wait for at least 49 seconds. In order to do that, let's add a wait node over here. Okay, and we can make it 49 seconds, but to be on the safer side, let's do it for 60 seconds. So it should wait for 60 seconds after it has sent the request. Let's hit execute. Okay, and it is going to wait for another 60 seconds before it actually says anything to us. So I'll again fast forward this part of the video. Okay, so the results are out, and it basically did nothing. So if you see, it waited for 60 seconds, and then this entire thing which came out of trigger Apify has come up in the output of this wait step. Cool. So we are good so far. Let's save this so much. All right. So now up till what we have done, we triggered, we send this HTTP request to scrape Amazon for that product, and then we waited for 60 seconds so that we would get the results. Now this step over here, that is going to put data into some data set. Now we need to have another HTTP request that is going to hook into that data set. All right. So over here, we need to add another HTTP request. That is going to be a GET. And in the URL, I'm going to give you the URL, but again, that will be mentioned in the resource file. So my URL is going to be this. And now let's try to really quickly understand what it is doing. So it is saying there is this node called trigger Apify, and inside that, look for the JSON property. There will be a data object or maybe another data property into that JSON, and then another ID for that data. Get that from the data set, for which the token I'm giving is this. Now I need to bring in my token over here. So let's go back to this place over here, apify.com, go to settings, API integrations, and let's copy this again. Come back over here, and where it says token is equal to, copy the entire part up till and format is equal to JSON and just paste this. Cool. Rest all, we don't have to really send any headers, and inside this option I want the response format to be JSON, so I'll do this. Let's execute the step, and we had the data set populated from our trigger Apify agent or the node. So when this step looked into that data set, it actually found this. Cool. So we are good so far. Everything seems to be working. Let's go back to the canvas and let's hit save. So we are good so far. All right. Now let's analyze the results again for this. Now if you see, we have got this price where the value is this, currency is this. Now if you see, everything inside this is a string. So we need some mechanism where we can actually parse string into some numeric number so that some calculation or some checks can be done on it, right? We can say that numeric 1 is greater than 0 or numeric 1 is less than 2. But we cannot say ONE1 is less than 0 or greater than 0 or whatever. So we, in order to compare two things, two digits, we need two numbers on both the sides. So we need to figure out how can we just grab the price property, convert it into a number, and then compare it against some threshold value. Cool. So what next? So next is we will have to build that function over here. That is also pretty straightforward. So let's hit the code over here. So let's search for code and we'll get this code. We'll add it. Let it be run once for all items, and let's rename this to parse price. So this is going to parse the price for us. And this function over here, we need to write some function over here that I'm going to give you. So just don't worry, this function again will be in the resource file. You can just copy it. And let's hit the execute step and see what happens. All right, so we got it. Now if you come to the very bottom, I've added this new field called price numeric, and the value is 334.99. This was in fact the price of this item over here, 334.99. Cool. Okay, so we have got this. Fine, let's save it. Now we have got the price. Now we need something, we need to compare this, right? We need to tell the system that, okay, if 334 or the price, whatever price that comes out after you scrape the Amazon is less than 300, let's say, then I want you to trigger something, give me a Telegram alert or whatnot. Okay, so now let's build that threshold check mechanism. For that, hit this plus icon again, add a if over here, double click it, and inside this value, we need to pass that price, numeric price expression or numeric price variable over here. So come down to this place over here and you will see this numeric. You grab it and you put it over here, and then you say that, okay, it is a number and I want to check if that is less than, let's say, 300. So the current price is 334. If the seller brings it down below 300, then I want this to happen. Okay, so let's hit the execute step. So it executed successfully and it came to the false branch. It says one item in the false branch. So because it was not less than 300, correct? If I would have done 335, let's say, and if I would have executed then I would get one item in the true branch, right? And if condition will always give you a true or a false. So based on the threshold, it will either give you true or it will give you false. So now because we are checking if the price drops below a certain level, I want the trigger to happen. I want the Telegram alert. So I would say, okay, if the price comes down below 300, then only send me a trigger. Then send me a trigger. Okay, so we are good so far. Let's hit it execute one more time and it comes to the false branch. Okay, let's save this, whatever we have built so far. Okay. Okay, so let me bring this particular node a little down so it looks more clear. All right. Now we have successfully achieved, now what all things we have achieved? We have achieved that we can go to Amazon, we can scrape the price. Then we wait for 60 seconds in order for the entire scraping to happen. Then we look for the results, we get the price numbers, and then we check if the price is below the threshold. So let me rename this to, instead of if, let's make it, let's rename this to check threshold. So it makes a little more sense, right? Okay. So now we are checking for threshold. Now there's a true line that comes out of it if the condition is true, if the condition is false. If the condition is true, we want to, send out a telegram alert saying that your competitor's price has gone down. Please check your product price. And if it is false, let's say competitor has not changed anything in its product price, we are happy. Okay. So for that, we need to build this telegram bot. All right. In order to do that, please switch over or please connect, your telegram. So once you are in the telegram, once you have opened the telegram, you will have to look for bot father. Open that, hit start over here and just type new bot and hit enter. Okay, so it says, all right, a new bot, how are we going to call it? Now you need a name for your bot. So I'm going to call it Harshit's new Harshit Amazon scraper. Let's call this. Okay. Then it says choose a username for your bot. So let's call it Harshit's bot or Harshit's Amazon bot. Okay. Let's call this. All right. So it is congratulating me on my new bot, and it is saying you can find this bot over here. And this is the most important part. It says this is the API token for this bot or for your Telegram bot. Good. Now what? So we need to find the ID for this bot. And how do we do it? So let me go to this bot over here and hit start. Okay, so it says nothing. Let's come back and first of all, let's associate our Telegram with n8n. So copy this API token over here. Then you go to personal, hit on personal over here, credentials. And then over here, you should see create credential. Look for Telegram API, continue and paste the token that you just copied from here. Hit save. It will test it. And it says connection was tested successfully. Good. So your Telegram association is complete. Now there is one more important part over here. We need, to get the bot ID. For that, there is this URL I'm going to paste in my browser. Of course, I'll mention it in the resource file. Over here, you see this URL that I've pasted. Over here, there will be a placeholder for your bot token. So you go back to your Telegram, copy this API token, and then you paste it over here. Okay, so the token has to be after the bot. All right, and now let's say enter. Okay, come back to your Telegram and send a message to your bot. Now when you refresh this, you will see that you have got this ID over here. Now this is your bot ID. You need this. So come back to your n8n now, go back to your workflow. Yeah, this one. Okay, so now you need a Telegram agent over here. So let's hit the plus sign over here, go to Telegram. And what do we actually have to do with the Telegram? We just need to send a text message. So hit the send a text and connect with your Telegram account. It has automatically taken that account that we built, while associating Telegram with n8n. Under resource, let it be message, operation send message, chat ID. So over here, we need to, send that bot ID that we copied. Come back over here and put it over here and text. So over the in this text over here, we want the bot to send the users Telegram a message that the price has of your competitor's product has come down. So let's say maybe your rival has decreased the product's price. Please check yours. Okay. And let's do execute step, and it is going to do some test. So it might take a little while. Okay, so now you see it is saying that execute step, node executed successfully. So I think we are good so far, and let me rename this and let's call it Telegram True. Okay, so this will be called when the threshold condition has met and it is true. Let me make it over here, or let's just bring it here. Okay, let's just keep it here. Okay, now we need another Telegram node that shall send me some message when the condition was not met or when everything is good. So we hit this plus sign again and look for Telegram. Again, we just need to send a text message. Let's this time call it Telegram node when it is false. So Telegram false. Telegram account, the Wi-Fi account has to be the same. Over here, we need the chat ID. So let's copy it over here. And text, your rival has not yet increased any prices. You are good. Okay, let's again test this step and say execute. So yes, it happened fine. Okay, let's save it, and the false should connect to this place over here. So when it is true, it is going to trigger the Telegram true thing, and there was a message that we added that will occur, and whenever it is false, it is going to trigger this. Okay, so this is pretty much it. If everything works well, it should do the required job and we should get a message. So let's test it and see what is actually happening. So it triggered Apify. It is now waiting for 60 seconds. It has sent the scraper the post request and it is waiting for the data. So this will wait for another 60 seconds, it. So I'll fast forward this, okay? Okay, so now it did and we got everything and it actually came to the false thing. So if I go to my Telegram, I should actually see a message over there. You see, your rival has not yet increased any prices, you are good. So on my Telegram, I actually got this message. Okay, now let's do something else also. Let's also test the true branch. We know the price is 334, right? 334. Let's increase or decrease the threshold in order to also test the true branch. So let me go to this step, and let us say if the price was 340, then I would have got the alert, right? It is currently at 334. And I say if the price goes below 340, then give me a trigger. Okay. So I'll just save it. And I'm going to execute the workflow again. And this time my expectation is it should come to my true branch over here. So it has sent the post request. It is now waiting. And let me just pull out the bot over here and let's see what happens. So this will again wait for some 60 seconds, as we know. Okay, so it is passing. Now you see it has gone to the true branch over here, and the message that we got is your rival has decreased the product price, please check yours. Right? This is what we wanted to achieve. All the workflow JSON code snippets and instructions are there at the free resource file. If this project saved you headaches and maybe made you a couple of more bucks, then consider contributing to support my work. I would really appreciate it. And if you would want me to create a custom price monitoring bot for you or for your store, then you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram ID must be mentioned below. So with this note, don't let your competitors steal your sales. Automate your alerts, protect your margins, and crush it on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel.